And then I assume, since you guys want to be on your way fairly quickly, you take off in short order.
I would think so. Actually, I need to go get my revolver first.
Oh, right, yeah. It has been a few days. You can totally go get that, for sure. So, you go, and I think that he looks, and as you walk in, he's like, "Oh, Arthur, yes. Listen, I looked at the sights. It doesn't seem to have anything wrong. It's just, the rifling seemed good. I'm sorry, this one just escapes me. I'm unable to figure out what your problem might be."
Maybe it was bad ammunition. I bought some stuff off-world, so...
He's like, well, that might be it too, yes. Perhaps you could use some more? And he, procures a box of 44 Magnum rounds, or whatever your revolver is.
I'm not gonna say no.
Yeah. You haggle through getting 44 Magnum rounds, which costs nothing, really. So then you're able to go off. But knowing that, perhaps it wasn't the revolver. Perhaps I was just shooting like shit that day.
Well, for the past 2 months, but yeah.
Right, yeah.
At least with a revolver.
Damn it. Level up, Devin. Come on.
It's true.
Yeah.
Once you get to level 3, you'll be even better.
Yeah.
Yeah. So then you get back to your ship and you get in. You begin to fly off. And it's weird because typically, Giorgio would be the one to, give clearance codes and do everything when leaving Sorn. And then everything else is kind of left up to you guys to handle the mission. And then him if he needs to, jump in or anything. So I think that, you guys are, flying out of the system and, there's a ping, there's, a comm message for the ship. And you open it up, and it's greetings, this is Agent 54 from the West Wind Corporation. You are cleared for departure. May I have your mission code, please? And, you guys, look at each other, you're like, what the hell is he talking about? But then eventually, it dawns on you, and you're like, oh, yeah, it's totally this. And he just nods. Yeah, right, he just nods, and he says, very well, good luck. Hope to see you in a few months. And, you're given, the all-clear to depart the station and undock and all that other fun stuff. But it's just a, kind of absent reminder that there's not anyone to do that there for you anymore. But yeah, you guys take off. You spend your 6 hours getting out to the edge of the system, and I assume it's time to make our first jump.
Yeah.
Yeah, go?
Yeah, this is going to be a long trip, guys.
It is going to be a long trip.
Jordan, yeah. You need to figure out how to move the, or not move the calendar.
I know. I'm trying to move the stupid little thing. It's just not working. There we go. Okay, cool. So, are you going to 306?
Yes, that's
okay. So it's an 8 difficulty for you.
And no +2.
Nope. Do not add the additional +2 you would normally. No problem. You make it to 306 without any issue. We've been in 306 a bunch of times. It is Moya, which is the Tekla 4 planet that has the corrosive atmosphere, but it's got they're heavy xenophobes, so they tell you to not come near their planet, etc., etc.
Yeah.
Nothing of too much interest there though. So you guys spend your allotted amount of time. It takes 3.5 days, etc., etc., and you're gonna make the next jump, correct?
Yep.
Okay. Are you going to all the way to 105?
That's the plan.
All right, it's an 8.
Ooh, reroll.
Yeah, let's use that reroll.
Wow, that's the first time I've ever had to reroll, guys.
Mm-hmm.
In terms of navigation, anyway.
Right.
Let's see.
Matt is just freaking out internally right now.
Externally.
Yeah!
Not only internally, you're just freaking out externally as well.
There.
All right, you guys make it to 105, and it's been 3.5 more days. Lucky for you.
And so everybody knows we went past my birthday. Yay, happy birthday! Fortune's birthday.
Yours or
Your
Fortune's?
actual birthday,
Fortune's.
right? Oh, Fortune's
No,
birthday?
Fortune's birthday. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, we can go through like what happens on Fortune's birthday if you want.
Fortune's birthday was the 23rd.
Okay. So yeah, so you guys passed the birthday now, like, so the only person that probably knows that is Boomer, unless you've told everybody.
I mean, I might have dropped hints.
You did the
I'm not gonna tell people to throw me a birthday party. but I
passive
want a birthday
aggressive,
party.
like, oh,
Yeah.
you know what tomorrow is? I think it's my birthday. Tomorrow's the 23rd, right? Yeah. Well, that's cool. I'm getting another year older.
Yeah, something like that.
Pointed look at everyone in the room.
Yeah.
I said, Boomer, you would probably know based on the fact that you know all the paperwork and documentation for everybody. So 105, as a reminder to everyone, this is the fucking do not go there under quarantine notice. Fucking Barba Society personnel will blow up your ship if you get within, a certain distance. Just based on the extremely hostile alien entity that exists there, etc., etc. No real change here for anyone, unfortunately. So, now...
So wait. Because on Raimondi, it's customary to celebrate one's birthday with a mock duel.
Well,
If
you challenge me to a mock duel, then I will not refuse.
Okay.
Or
So
if you say
does the recipient, like, does the birthday individual get to choose the terms of their duel?
Yeah, the birthday boy is free to as it is their birthday, they're celebrating. They are free to choose whatever weapon they please. It is customary to use swords, but lesser species may use more primitive tools of engagement. You see.
Well, because I assume, and Fortune would choose, like, the unarmed duel.
Well, I was going to say, in that case, I would go with the most gentlemanly duel possible and go straight fisticuffs.
I think a training sword is probably appropriate in this situation.
But you're not the
Like
birthday boy. Last time I checked.
Oh, no, the birthday. You see, Oscar is honor bound to use a training sword, whereas the birthday boy, if he so pleased, could use a combat shotgun.
I mean, I think the best thing here is even fisticuffs. If he may still win, like,
Yeah.
against the training sword. I mean, you guys can have a duel if you'd like.
Yeah, then let's go ahead and do that. I was aware of this.
Margot and
for his
Marcel
birthday.
things.
You see, and Oscar explains. Obviously, he explains that this is not a pan Raimondi tradition. It's specific to the warrior caste, the Drox in the Drox Reteg. You see, so
I assume
like
that
this.
you guys are all
This
squaring off in the in one of the cargo bays, yeah?
Correct.
Okay, and Gogo's watching.
I got one, man. I'm ready.
I got a good stretch going on.
Yeah, so you're like stretching. You're like doing that like crack your knuckles, rub your fist thing.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it's gonna say mono blade, but it's not a mono blade.
Yeah, it's all gonna be temporary damage. It's gonna be the equivalent of a bamboo sword.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, it's all gonna be temporary damage. I won't.
And it's gonna be the equivalent of boxing gloves.
Right. Yeah. No permanent damage will be done here. Cool. So, Oscar, how does this ritual work? Does the birthday boy get to go first, or is it like, is Gogo like the ref, and does she have to like sit up on one of the cargo boxes, like swinging her legs and say, "All right, go," or something?
So it's kind of like birthday spankings, in that it's not set up to be fair.
Got it. Okay, yeah, it's designed. It's designed
like
for the birthday
it's
boy
like
to get his ass beat.
it's like a loving sort of hazing, like
So what I'm getting is that there's a we roll for initiative, but you get a cheap shot first.
Oscar is a cheap shot.
Yeah, no, he gets like 11
himself. Like I don't. Yeah. So we can roll, but
So,
I think
let me go ahead and pull up the initiative here. Let me remove this since you guys were on there before. All right, so you guys want to roll initiative? You can totally do that. Select your token first, though. Remember. All right.
That's about right.
So yeah, so it's like Fortune's like lacing up his gloves or whatever, and Oscar's like, "Okay, hope you're ready," and then just charges in.
Yeah, he. So what happens is he says, "I'm so glad that we were able to celebrate your birthday, Fortune," and it's like I have very much missed my family. It's been a long time, and he bows, and then the wooden sword just comes sailing at you.
Right. He just hucks it at you with his telekinesis. All right, cool.
Got it.
And what is your armor class, Fortune?
I think it is a 7. Yes, it is a 7.
It's a 7. You don't have like any other.
I have a jacket.
Oh, that's including Dex, right? Because you do get the bonus for Dex.
Do you
I
have a
think so.
dex bonus?
I have a 1.
Yeah, so you subtract 1 from your AC for your dex.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay, so then that would be a 6.
Correct. So you have a 6. So
Yeah.
it's an AC 6. So he hits you
Well, that didn't matter. So
for 9 damage.
okay.
You know
that's
what?
it.
You know what though? Because that's a 25. I'm actually going to pull that. I can subtract 4 from that if you'll allow me, Jordan, to make it like just something to like flip him on his ass.
Sure.
So you can roll at a -4 with a martial art to simply disable an opponent.
Sure. So I think that in the future I'd want you to declare it beforehand. But since this is this is the mock duel, that's fine.
Yeah, because this is just for fun.
So he just wraps you on the back of the kneecaps, and you just drop to the ground.
Okay.
The damage is kind of insignificant. Obviously that would knock you unconscious.
So I just fall down basically.
Yeah, basically you just get brought to you get knocked on your butt, and the sword flies back to Oscar.
Yeah.
Yeah, so Gogo's shoutcasting this whole thing.
So yeah,
Boomer, are you
just
recording it on the what do you call it? Yeah,
For posterity.
Yeah, for posterity. Okay, so
he just wanted
Fortune,
to flip you ass over tea kettle.
Yeah.
One good time, and then.
Yeah, so Fortune,
Okay.
you could get up, but you gotta cross the distance between you and Oscar.
Okay.
And you could do that, and you could run up and try and punch him. That's totally fine.
And then
Battle cry.
yeah, that is the battle cry.
Uh,
I think the birthday battle cry.
Yeah, and what's your AC, Oscar?
3.
Okay. So add 3 to the AC. Fortune. One punch! No.
Nope.
So
I'm still recovering. It was a staggered walk to you to try to punch.
yeah,
So.
he just easily moves to one side as the punch flies wide. Oscar, it's your turn.
Sure. He's gonna he's gonna poof behind Fortune. When he throws the punch, Oscar pops behind him.
Sure.
Oscar using the teleport.
Oh my sweet Jesus!
Crushes him in the back of the skull.
Yeah.
Margo's shoutcasting.
That's what I'm doing.
So actually, I'm going to use my ability, and you're gonna miss me.
Yep. Exactly.
Oh, but the dodge.
So yeah, so how I think that happens
Excellent.
is because of the warrior ability, right? It just misses you. Like, you just choose to have it just ignore everything. So he probably turns around and, like, grabs the bamboo. Like, you had him, Oscar. Like, it was over.
Oh, yeah.
But, like, his like, primal warrior instincts kicked in. And he, like, spins around.
He's probably also seen Oscar do that one too many times to be caught by it, too.
Sure, yeah. He spins around, he grabs the bamboo stick and just, like, deflects it away. And then, Fortune, you get to go.
AC of 3. That's a really high AC.
Yep. Missing. Again. So again, you duck and weave and you swing, and Oscar is able to dodge it again.
Fortune not looking so good here.
Oh my god.
Good.
You know what? Yeah. Oscar just slaps you on the ass.
Just as hard
And
as you can.
like just smack just like he ducks the punch, spanks Fortune, and goes, "Excellent. That was great."
Yeah. To be fair,
And like, yeah.
you're a sniper. And
Yes.
He's designed for close combat.
Yeah.
Margot jumps
Yeah,
down
if
and
this
starts
was
doing,
like-
hitting on the mat thing. 1, 2.
Perfect.
Great. Yeah, he just like gives Fortune his birthday spank and says he says, that was great. Let's go have a beer.
Right, yeah. You help him up as he's, like, rubbing his ass cheeks.
Yeah.
Because they're, like, swelling up now from the weight of the bamboo sword. And you, like, you all go to the galley and you have a nice drink, and Boomer's decorate it with, like, birthday streamers and shit, and, you know, it's all very cool. For those that care to look at the galley, I'll show you what the birthday stuff looks like on the ship. Clearly there's pink blasts of stuff everywhere. And,
Pink fireworks
there's, like,
in the ship.
Yeah,
Does Oscar poof
yellow
pink?
fireworks. Well, it's upstairs, right? It's, like, directly above where you guys were almost.
So just
There's some bubbles and some stuff going on.
great
see, what else?
special effects.
There's some splatters of stuff going on. It's great.
Confetti.
Yeah, that looks like confetti.
No, that's not a good one. Hold on. Here's a good one. There's just confetti everywhere.
Rainbow
Just
confetti.
it just gets into places that, like, no one ever knew existed on their body.
Margot can't get it out of her hair.
You're all covered in glitter and confetti.
Can we even tell where Margot's hair starts and the glitter ends?
Yeah, no.
No.
Gogo actually saw one of the dispensers and went and stood underneath it on purpose, so that it
Now
would,
she has
like,
mermaid hair.
Yeah, now she just sparkles like vampires. Bad.
So yeah, Oscar like opens up the fridge, yanks 3 beers out, pops them. I mean, 4 beers if Boomer has joined us, and like
or 5 beers.
Who else has to put out the fires that get started from all the streamers and fireworks and stuff inside the ship?
That would definitely be Boomer.
yeah.
Cool.
He's got a fire extinguisher on.
So yeah, proper birthday celebration necessitates birthday spanks and beer.
Absolutely. Cool. That seemed appropriate and fun. So back to business, unfortunately for you guys. There's some more jumps we have to make.
No pun intended.
Right.
One
exactly.
jump, and then possibly a stop.
Yeah, so here's the deal. So this is the first time we have, like, a decision to make, right? So are you going to jump two hexes, and are you going to go to 103, or are you going to go to 204 is the real question.
Wait, I forgot where people wanted to go.
103.
You wanted to go to 103? Okay, I honestly just don't remember. Well,
Yeah, so 103
I don't have
Oscar
a reroll anymore.
has the Aldous. Yeah, you could only do the one jump if you wanted to, like to 104.
I think I'm just going to do 104 first, and then...
Okay, so yeah, it's a difficulty 7 to 104. No problem.
Yeah.
You make it no problem. It is the 31st of March. And you guys make it to 104. Now, 104 is nothing of note, really. It is Tech Level 2 planet. It's not really developed at all. It's got 19th century technology, which is what Tech Level 2 is. It's seen as somewhat of a religious pilgrimage site, though, for the Holy Protestant Family Christians. Holy Family Protestant Christians. That's how it says. It's like a pilgrimage site for them. So the people on the planet know like of Tech Level 4 capabilities and whatever, but they just choose not to utilize any of it because they're all religious fanatics and stuff like that. It's all very good stuff. So are you going to make another single jump or another double jump?
Single jump.
Yeah, single jump.
To
Also,
103?
sorry, I was taking notes. You should look at them.
No problem. Notes are good things.
Slow and steady.
Slow and steady gets you guys not killed.
Till we get a nav comp is the moral of the story.
Yep.
Hold your breath. Whew.
No problem. You would have made the hard
Hooray.
jump. So you guys get up to 103, no problem. It is 3 more days. Now, should you choose, you guys could get a maintenance done right now. Because it is the beginning of the month, and that's when the maintenance would fall. You could also pay for like food and shit right now, if you wanted to as well. But you technically have till the end of the month to pay that up. So it's up to you guys. If you guys want to toss in the money to do it now, which would be the 3,334 plus the 3,000, so it'd be basically 6,400. You guys could totally do it. Devin's pinging 0002 as if he wanted to go there and then try and jump straight.
No,
0100.
I was just following other pings.
But you guys technically have till the end of the month, and you guys will totally be at your destination by the end of the month, presumably able to get. That's awesome. Presumably able to get paid by something, or by doing something on planet, maybe to pick up some, some fuel money or whatever to get you guys on the road again. But in 103, this is the planet that has Eurymedon, Davino, and Haldis on it. So Eurymedon, Davino, Haldis, you guys have been here before. This is where your first ever mission brought you to. Haldis is the planet that has the heavy industry. It's also the home of the Daybreak Enterprises, which is where we could perhaps purchase a motorcycle, which I assume is why people are coming here.
Yeah.
Davino is a Tech Level 4, but it's radioactive planet. Not a whole lot is known about it by you guys, I don't think. On the like the surface, it's just kind of like another generally populated planet that has people that live on it and do things. It doesn't have anything particularly of note that you guys would know about. And Eurymedon, if we remember, was the where that large mining operation was occurring, and where most of the Red 5 for the sector is actually mined from. They basically gather these large asteroid that are inside of like the atmosphere, like just in like really, really low orbit. And they gather these large things and these large ships that seal off the corrosive, the gaseous atmosphere, and then they mine them out. And that's also where you picked up Stanley. You could return Stanley to his home now if you wanted to.
Set him free.
But I assume
I'm way more invested in Stanley to let him go.
I assume that your destination here is going to be Haldis for the Daybreak Enterprises. So it's going to be really inconvenient if you can't talk, William. Should unfuck that scenario. But that's okay. I understand. I still love you. So Daybreak Enterprises, they are the leading researchers and individuals that produce robotics tech mostly, but basically any other Tech Level 4 tech that like is beyond basic, they produce, or at least have a hand in. Probably most of your equipment that is not spaceship oriented, it has like a Daybreak Enterprises symbol on it. unless it was made specifically outside of Daybreak Enterprises. Like, for example, like your equipment, Oscar, probably comes from the Shriekan homeworld.
Totally.
But more than likely, like, your rifle probably comes from the Daybreak Enterprises, is probably who manufactured it at some point. And Go-Go, your rocket launcher is most definitely from Daybreak Enterprises. It was like the original manufacturer of it. And probably most of the shotguns that you guys have, except for that one pirate one with the serial number filed off. That one probably doesn't have a listed manufacturer on it. But yeah, it's a heavy industry planet. Just tons of factories and stuff. And so there's a lot of groups, similar to, the groups we have on Earth, that are very like, oh, you're killing a planet with all your corrosive gases and stuff. 100% the reason why Haldus has a corrosive and invasive atmosphere is because of all the factories that exist on it. It's just heavily polluted. If you start breathe it for any longer than, a few minutes, you're going to end up having like severe side effects, up into leading cancer, stuff like that. Just from the heavy factory stuff that goes on. So most of the time people, when they're going in, like the factories have been like environmentally sealed for like workers and stuff, but some of them aren't. Some of them have to wear like exosuits when they operate. But the thing is, when the planet was becoming polluted, the Daybreak Enterprises, again, who is the primary people here, they were like, hey, if we just use robots, then we don't have to worry about people getting sick and shit. So most of the factories on the planet are actually automated, with like maybe a couple of human or other types of alien, if they work here, individuals that like kind of are foremen for the factory. So most everything out here is all expert systems and robotics, and it's all very cool, like techie. I guess if like we were relating it, what's that Star Wars planet that Anakin got all his fucking digits cut off on? What's the name of that fucking lava planet? Someone help me, Star Wars buffs.
I couldn't
Mustafar.
Thank you, Mustafar. See, he lives. Kind of similar to that, where like almost everything is automated and robotic. There's not a whole lot of human inhabitants on the planet itself, which makes sense because there's literally only tens of thousands of inhabitants on the entire planet. Like, that's not a whole lot for the whole planet. But it's, just a ton of factories and shit everywhere. But there are, like, trade hubs. There's some stations in orbit where you can do some trading, which is probably where you would want to go to get your motorcycle.
Yeah.
So
now that people aren't distracted by rocket launchers,
right?
I would like people. Hey, help me find a good motorcycle because you know about engines. And stuff.
So you're gonna enlist the help of your crew members to attempt to find you a good motorbike.
Last week.
Yeah, maybe even one with a sidecar.
I could just build you one.
Oscar perks up at the mention of a sidecar.
You could just hold your sword out next to you and just kill everything as you're driving along.
That's probably very similar to what he...
You guys could actually
the little daydream that he has after that's mentioned.
You guys could just get into roller derby tournaments where you just slash all the tires. So I think that the only thing to note here is Boomer. So he says like he could build you one, right? What do you say to that, Fortune?
I say I like the classics.
As you wish.
Okay. So who would go help Boomer, or sorry, not Boomer. Who would go help Fortune find a motorbike, or who has applicable skills? They would.
Who does Fortune ask?
The crew, everybody.
I would argue that I am perceptive. Beyond that, like, I could go look if you give me a picture. But
hey, there's one over there, and then I go over there, and it's like it's there, but there's no engine. It's missing half a tire.
No, I think I don't think it would be like that, but I probably wouldn't be able to find you a good deal.
Yeah,
And I probably wouldn't be able to,
assess the technical level of the bike itself.
Right, I could go help look.
Yeah.
But
I'm thinking someone who could help me make sure that the bike is going to run for longer than the trip to the ship.
Okay.
All right, I can help him with that.
Okay. So Boomer, you go with him. Go-Go, do you go with to go find a motorbike?
I'm trying to remember what did I roll last time to help them?
A 1.
No.
Well, I
yeah.
mean, yes.
But I mean,
No.
like, what actual skill did I roll down?
You rolled piloting land.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
Or vehicle land?
Vehicle land. That's what I meant.
Vehicle land, yeah.
Yeah. So identify like different types of bikes and like what they actually do, what they're made for, that kind of stuff is what a vehicle land check would give you. Whereas Boomer is a technical, like, he may not know exactly what each bike is designed to do, but he could look at the engine and be like, yeah, this is a good engine. It's the best engine.
Sure. I mean, I'd go too.
Okay, cool.
Yay!
Awesome. So the two of you can make a vehicle land roll as well as a tech post-tech roll, because it's, unfortunately, for Oscar, it's not really hard to find what you're looking for. This is a trade hub that's designed to assist you in helping you find what you're looking for. So Oscar, unfortunately, wouldn't be much help in this particular scenario with identifying what it looks like. But I assume you maybe go with them, Oscar, or do you stay and watch the ship?
I would go with. I mean, never know.
Sure.
Especially since I am, like, the one job I have to do is security detail.
Yeah.
I feel like dicking around on our new spaceship is not the best way to accomplish that.
Right. Absolutely. Absolutely.
Jordan, wisdom or intelligence?
It's going to be intelligence for you.
What about for me?
For you, it's going to be wisdom, because it's in the moment looking at it.
Yay, I have help.
Nice.
And Jordan, what are the chances that I know a guy here?
Chances are very good, but what are the chances you want a guy to know you here?
Yeah, that's a good point.
In fact, what I was going to have you do is roll me a luck save.
Oh boy.
I can re-roll these, right?
Nope.
Not the saves.
Nope.
Ooh.
Nice.
You are very lucky, Boomer.
They never knew I was even here.
Nope. They
So
never knew you were even
stealthy.
here. Yeah, so lucky for you, the guy that you come up upon doesn't know you, nor does anyone pick up your scent while you're here.
Have you guys seen that episode of Janestown of Firefly?
Probably. I've seen Firefly, I just don't know the episode names.
Okay, I have a feeling that that's kind of stuff Boomer's pulling right now.
Yeah. So you're able to find one in good condition. That is, well, I guess your business role is going to be determined whether or not it's reasonably priced. The markup is kind of up there, like it's high. You'll need a basic success to get it at its base price.
Okay.
Also, are you looking for any features? Because here's the cool thing: with all vehicles, you can add add-ons and stuff.
At the moment, probably not.
So you're looking for a base model.
Sidecar.
Base model. Oh, what sidecar? Can you add that?
No, I think sidecar totally is a thing that like is possible. It will cost more though, obviously.
Okay, that's fine. Something with a sidecar. And like we described earlier, it's chopper-esque with a sidecar.
Yeah, for
I
sure.
don't think you can go full-on chopper with a sidecar.
Yeah, I think you'd have a hard time turning.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's see here. Let me get to... Actually, you know what? I just want that Vehicles of the Empire supplement. Where? Or not Empire. Jesus. Wrong game. I'm doing that twice today. What is it? Is it Starvation Cheap? Or is it actually in Relics of the Lost? It might actually be in Relics of the Lost.
And that would be wisdom, correct?
So if you're attempting
Or
to talk them
intelligence.
down in
Mhm.
price, it's going to be Charisma.
Okay.
No, it's not Relics of the Lost. Oh,
And
Engine
I am
of
a-
Babylon. There we go. That's what I want.
I have 1 assist or 2.
You have 1 assist. You can get a +1 on it. Okay. So basic success means you will get it at the price that it says in the book. You won't have to pay any more for it because it was marked up.
Okay.
And let's see. Looking for in the vehicle list to see if there's a price on a sidecar. I may have to get that for you next week. Because I don't see it exactly here right now. But you're able to pick up exactly what you want for the price that it lists in the book. Oh, there it is. Okay. Extra passengers. So it says 5K. I don't think it's actually going to be 5K for this in particular, because that would make sense because it would be more expensive than the damn bike itself.
Yeah.
So let's see, how much is the actual vehicle? TL3. I'd say it's probably going to be an extra 500 credits on top of it to get a sidecar on your motorbike.
And the bike is, because I closed that section. How much is a motorbike again?
The bike is 1,000 for the TL3 motorcycle.
1,000.
Yep.
Okay. I'll take it.
Okay. So it's 1,500 credits right off the door. You can grab it, and you can wheel it out like a kid in a candy store back onto the ship.
Yeah.
And I assume that basically the remainder of your time in transit is going to be spent polishing and...
Yeah, that thing's going to look brand new.
Right, yeah.
As clean as I keep my guns, that's how clean this is going to be.
Yeah, cool. Awesome. So, that little shopping trip taken care of, are you going to make another jump there, Gogo?
Yes, but I just want the image of them riding back to the ship with Margot sitting in the sidecar with her goggles on,
Right.
and Boomer being the one who's riding bitch.
And that was Oscar who was super excited about the sidecar.
It's true, but
That's
Oscar
okay.
So you might have to
can
fight
teleport,
Oscar for that sidecar.
No. Literally, she looks at him, and her rocket launcher, the little reticle
He'll
pops
just
out.
He'll stand on the back. Are there spokes or pegs?
You're sitting on the
you can
I'll put
stand
you on the
on
handlebars.
Yeah, you can stand on the
Yeah.
saddlebags.
Yeah, he can equalize his momentum, so he's not concerned.
Yeah.
He'll stand.
Perfect.
So you guys, now granted this is a space station, so you're not supposed to be riding it, of course. But yeah, that's the image
I don't think that matters.
Yeah, of you guys riding up into your ship and
Yeah.
Actually, I got it. I got it. So we're not allowed to ride it, so we don't start it. But I'm sitting in the driver's seat. Boomer's behind me. Gogo's sitting in the sidecar. And Oscar is walking beside us, carrying it with his
are you just pushing it
along.
with your telekinesis?
This
With his
isn't
mind powers.
this isn't a planet with psionic sphere, is it?
I don't know. Look at the
It's not.
Okay, yeah. How much? I've got to be able to lift more than this bike weighs.
Yeah, no, for sure. You have up to 2 kilos or something like that, right?
I could. I don't know. Let's just say
It doesn't
he's
matter.
either
Yeah.
pushing it.
You can
He's
push
either
it.
pushing it or floating it.
Yeah, you can push it slowly along the ground so that it just by applying force to the back of it. You don't need to
Yeah.
Basically, you can use complex manipulation to do it. You don't have to use your actual levitation style abilities.
Oh, he could make it go.
Sure.
Making it go is not a problem. Making it go at a speed that won't kill anyone.
Oh, I'm not trying to make it go fast.
Yeah, no, it's basically just the walking speed that it's traveling as you guys are riding on it. Yeah, cool.
Yeah.
And we're all making the noises of a.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, everybody. Cool.
Yeah.
Awesome. So you finally get back to the ship. Eventually.
To 203. I believe.
To 203. All right.
Destination.
To 203. 203 has some things in it, I think.
Raimondi.
Mm-hmm.
Did it.
Cool. You did it. Congratulations. You make it to 203. No problem. So, for those of you that don't know anything about Raimondi, Raimondi is the homeworld of the Sriak people. It is the planet in which Oscar hails from. And for those of you who don't know a whole lot about the Sriakian culture, they appreciate other like forms of life on their planet. They're xenophiles. They kind of like everybody. They're cool with humans. They are tech level 4, and I think most noticeably when you get in, there's probably a lot of like, you guys have seen Sriak ships before, because Sriak has their own like ships, right? Like they don't generally use human-made ships all that often. Maybe in desperate need they might. But Oscar, what are your ships like? What does the fleet of the Sriak, what kind of form does it take? Does it take like the typical like kind of bug ships that we see in other media, or what does it look like?
I think are you asking if they're like organic in design?
I mean, I could come up with it myself, but I just want you to describe what they look like. Nothing like deeply mechanical, just like what they look like. If human ships are like these big blocky steel freighters, you know.
I think it would depend on who it was built for.
Sure.
Because the Sriak themselves, depending on the region of the planet they come from, actually themselves vary quite a bit.
Yep.
So I think the ships would probably, if an outsider who had never seen one of their fleets were to notice anything, it might be that they're maybe less uniform than one might expect of a fleet.
Yeah, I think that's
so like
good.
the designs, whereas like Westwind, you might have, if you have 20 ships, the internal fittings probably vary 20 different ways, but they look mostly the same.
Yep.
The same can probably be said of the exterior, or rather the design in general of the Sriak ships. I think that might be what one would notice at a glance.
Cool. Yeah, I think that's cool. And yeah, there's obviously a lot more.
They're sort of they're heterogeneous.
Yeah, there you go. That's a good word for it. I like it. So I think that obviously we have a lot of this like kind of, this is the first alien world you guys have really visited. And Raimondi itself is an interesting world in general. So the Sriak are ruled by the 13 ruling families, also known as the Freedom Council. And the Freedom Council, they, again, like I said, they're very open. They tend to take on a lot of like human refugees from different conflicts or whatever. They tend to be very accepting of humans in their space, which is somewhat reverse of the Tan, who are very like pacifist, very like segregated from the rest of the sector, want to kind of just live on their own and only have to deal with other races when they have to. They're not necessarily xenophobes, but they are just kind of secluded. Whereas the Sriak tend to be far more open to individuals. Also, everybody kind of knows this is kind of a general consensus fact, is that the Sriak are much more inclined towards having metadimensional extroversion syndrome, or MES, which is what makes psychics. They tend to have a far greater aptitude for it. In addition, they tend to feel less effects than humans do from MES, like less of the negative effects. And so
I think the extent to which like medication is needed is probably a lot less frequent and severe than for humans.
For sure.
I think would be a reasonable way to look at it.
And so what this breeds on Raimondi is a lot of refugee psychics will come here to get help with their MES if they're struggling with it, or if they have rare side effects, because the culture itself just kind of knows more about it because they are more advanced in the ways of MES. So there are some prestigious psychic academies that exist on Raimondi. which are all pretty cool. So one that is a psychic would definitely either visit or have visited or have learned about Sriek and Raimondi culture based on the fact that they're so closely tied to MES. And I'll leave for Matt to add any other details that he might please, because we've kind of hashed this out a lot between me and him.
Well, are we actually stopping here, or are we passing through?
Oh, no. Well, that will determine on this scene. Soon as you enter system, again, mostly spam mail, but Oscar, you have 2 messages. One is it's like a missive from the Freedom Council. It's like addressed, the return address is like Freedom Council, ambassador. And the other one is addressed from, I don't think we ever determined between you and me, but maybe we did. Who is the head of your family currently?
I don't think Oscar knows.
Okay. Cool.
And I think is that enough information for you?
Yeah, for sure.
Okay.
So I think you get a message from an individual who you don't know. However, someone who shares your surname, right? The surname is Drox Herteg.
The second part.
Oh yeah, Herteg.
Would
Sorry,
be
yeah, Drox. Drox is the designator. But shares your surname and introduces himself as and let's come up with a first name. Probably like let's say it is something like
look up Finnish names.
Tykern.
Tykern, okay,
so
sure.
It's Tykern Herteg. And what we came up with the the political or like head of family designator, right? You sent those all to me, but that's so far gone in Discord, you don't even know.
I think we hashed that out a little bit, but for now, let's just say whatever.
We'll come up with it.
So I recognize
you recognize that he's using the prefix of the head of family.
Okay.
So which one do you open first?
The first one was from
directly from
ambassador.
It was from the Freedom Council. It was like from the offices of the ambassador of the Freedom Council, etc., etc.
Definitely the second, the family one.
Cool.
That's because that would be revelatory, perhaps.
Yeah. So I think that it comes up, and it has a basic greetings. It says greetings, Uskurnt Drox Hrateg. Introduces himself, says that I've recently come into leadership of the family, and making a point to introduce myself to all known associates and individuals that reside in said family. It goes on to say, I understand that you were not present for the naming ceremony, but at your earliest convenience, I would like to speak with you regarding the future of the family, is essentially what it says. Now, this is strange, right, Uskurnt? Because as far as your family is concerned, you haven't had much dealings with them in a while.
Yes.
And also, there were some other incidents that occurred that may have made you believe that you would never have dealings with them again.
Right. This is news for a number of reasons.
Yeah, so it's an invitation to meet and discuss, or at least correspond and discuss what is going on. Now, so the interesting part is these have been sent these have both been sent within the last week, because they haven't been able to make it out of system yet, right? There just hasn't been traffic enough for them to make it out of system. Mm-hmm. So they were both have been sent fairly recently. And if you do the math, there is good potential, if Oscar does the math in his head, there's good potential that your assault suit thing that you applied for may have come back and reached the planet, like reach Raimondi by this point.
Yes.
It's about that timing. So that's obviously interesting. And the one from the ruling council is literally just, we require your attendance at your earliest convenience. Please respond with date and time when you will be available so an appointment can be made. It gives you like no information on what it might be about. But to be summoned directly by the Freedom Council, like the Office of the Ambassador, is curious, to say the least.
But it potentially has to do with my request.
Yeah, if Oscar were to do the math, he would understand that it potentially has to do with his request.
He would certainly ask the crew if they had a couple of days to touch down and take care of that business. So he would probably call a meeting, get everyone there, and since it would be a diversion, he would basically ask them for permission to do so, or see if they had any business that they would want to take care of also.
Well, if I know Boomer, I think he's on board with making a pit stop.
Probably.
Boomer doesn't mind. He's got something he can buy while he's on planet.
Sure. So do we want to take care of said meeting next time, or how much longer do we have here?
Well, somebody else is getting an Amber Alert at the same time I am.
Yeah, that's me.
Yeah, so here's how it happens. Gogo, do you object to stopping?
No, but the whole concept of it being our ship now and us losing money for every day does cross her mind.
Sure. You make a mental note that if it's been more than 2 days, I should probably...
I need to round up the crew. As it were.
Yeah. Okay, cool. So without objections, what happens is, do you send a reply, Oscar? And to whom do you send a reply?
He probably sends nearly the same reply to both.
Sure, and that
but
consists
he says, what would he say? He'd say in system and he just gives like 2 staggered dates, like one morning meeting, one evening meeting. And the first of which being the ambassador.
Okay, so your plan is to meet the ambassador first, the office
Correct.
of the ambassador, and then the second was to meet with the family meeting. Okay, cool. So I think the scene that we get to close it out here is those messages send and are received almost instantly. And we see the one for the ambassador, like it goes into like a big bank of emails, and we see it like digitally getting like sorted through and applying things to calendars and everything else. And then we see an image of a private estate on Raimondi, in one of the more heavily jungled areas. It's an estate that like kind of is in the boughs of some trees, and we see like a notification light up because it's nighttime there on Raimondi currently. So we see a notification light up, and we see a light turn on, and we see a kind of an older Sriek. We don't recognize him. We recognize him as having the same style facial features that Oscar has to represent like family, clan, and he looks at his compad, and you see his eyes like going back and forth, or at least moving, because they don't really have pupils. You see his eyes like moving back and forth, reading, and we see him get up from the bed, and he walks over to like a console computer, and he pulls it up, and he just like shakes the input or whatever, and it turns on from being asleep, and we see a picture of Oscar, very much younger Oscar, perhaps when he first joined, like the when his first like license or whatever, the equivalent like identification is, and we see
braces on.
Right, yeah. We see like all this information on him, and we as the audience, we see a bunch of information on or we see a bunch of information that's like scrolling past that's censored out. It's got like the blackout lines. Like it's instead of like being like blacked out lines like we see in like censored stuff in media and stuff. It's just like a whole bunch of like different fucked up symbols, and then like continues on in Syriac, and then a whole bunch of different fucked up symbols that blanks out current like things. And we see the guy that he sent the Ty-Current. We see Ty-Current. He hits like a button, and then he types in a password, and then he puts his hand on like a sensor, and we see those words like they morph into like full on like everything is revealed now, and we see him begin like doing research into or continuing to do research into Oscar, and then I think that's a perfect place to end for the night.
Wah, wah, wah.
Yeah.
Cool.
So, let's talk about experience. You guys got a new ship. That's exciting.
Yeah.
You guys did a lot of things. You completed a lot of things. Well, I mean, you're on your way to complete a lot of things, I think.
Fortune had a birthday.
Fortune had a birthday, and also Fortune got a motorcycle.
I did.
So that's good. So I think that everybody can go ahead and take. Let's just make it. What did I do last time?
278.
I know that's exactly how much you need because I just looked at your character sheet.
I think it was actually more than that you gave us last time, but
yeah,
that
it was like
double.
3. I think it was like 387. So that sounds good. 387.
Nice.
Everybody can have 387 experience. I assume that gets you to level 3.
It does.
Which is awesome. Cool. With that, I'm gonna do close out. If you guys are still here,
Show.
I'll talk to you in just a second. If not, have a good night.
Good game.
Good night.
Peace.
Hello, stream. Thanks for showing up. Sorry about the technical issues during hour 3. I don't know what the heck was going on with that. Hopefully get them resolved. But it's a fun session, GG. They're making their way across the sector, and we'll see what happens on Raimondi after this. For any of you that may have questions or anything, hit me up. Leave a comment on YouTube. Follow me on Twitch. Follow me on Twitter. You can send me anything you want, and I'll respond as soon as I am able. From all of us to you, have a wonderful night.